All right, kids. Well,
You guys want to go see a dead body?
I should have used the dead body scene from Boys in the Hood for the culture, but I needed some B-roll of kids using a branch. This episode is the equivalent of poking a dead body with a stick, is what I'm getting at. As many have already seen, a 36-year-old former light heavyweight kickboxing world champion tweeted, out of nowhere, "Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has a W16 8-liter quad turbo. My two Ferrari 812 Competizione have 6.5-liter V12s. This is just a start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions." And Greta Thunberg, the 19-year-old woman who's autistic and a climate activist, replied, "Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. Today we're going to talk about Andrew Tate, who died to death spiritually and internetedly at 6:07 a.m., Wednesday, December 28th. Now, Tate's initial response was to say, "How dare you?" which is actually kind of funny. I thought it was his way of acknowledging what happened and to take the L, but nah. It got worse for him, and we'll focus on that later. But before I continue, we'll need to answer these questions. Who is Andrew Tate? What makes me care about any of this? Where is he? And most of all, why did he at Greta Thunberg in the first place? Let's start with 2016, when Tate was casted on Big Brother UK, which seemed to make him and break him at the same time. He was ejected from the house after a video surfaced of him hitting a woman, though both Tate and the woman involved denied any abuse that occurred. A year later, racist and homophobic slurs appeared on his Twitter account, which was now removed per HITC. Over the years, the British-American former kickboxer has compared women to dogs, said women shouldn't be allowed to drive, and argued that women should bear responsibility for being raped. This is the full quote. According to Variety, Tate has graphically detailed how he would assault a woman if she accused him of cheating, per NBC News. On an episode of The Pump podcast, he recalled how he hit a woman and broke her jaw during a bar fight. After being charged with causing bodily harm, he got away with it in the end. Tate also has explained that he would rather date 18 or 19-year-olds rather than women in their mid-20s because he can, quote, make an imprint on teenagers who have been through less dick, according to a Vox article. Earlier this year, The Guardian reported that Tate was being investigated for human trafficking, which he has denied, but keep this in mind. In one video explaining why he moved from the UK to Romania, keep this in mind too, Tate said, per The Guardian, "I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do what I want. I like being free." On Barstool Sports' BFF podcast in July, Tate was asked about his past comments about women being the property of men. He said, quote, "I'm not saying women are property. I'm saying they are given to the man and belong to the man." It was stuff like this which led to him being banned from every social media site, including Twitter. It's here where I want to bring up this thing that Andrew Tate calls the Matrix. The Matrix, according to Tate, wants you poor, weak, complacent, and alone. And they, whoever they are, will use every means possible to keep you that way. Luckily for you, us, we are here to fight it. We are here to break you free. This is your chance to stand on the shoulder of giants. I learnt this from his website, cobratate.com. And look, if I were a better content creator, I would have paid for a subscription, joined the war room, bought some merch, or even got the free Tales of Wudang ebook so you won't have to. I figured though, I would just tell you not to. Besides, I combed through all 41 of his tenets, and you know, I just wanted to see his figurative fight in action before I sought out his advice and wisdom, which is where I saw the Matrix thing. Anyways, back to Andrew Tate's Twitter account being banned. I looked back at that situation to see what he did to get what's rightfully his. Perseverance, pursuit, the fight. He just waited for Elon Musk to reinstate him, which Musk did after this tweet here. Which takes us back to why we're talking about Tate in the first place. The tweets. As of last night, Greta Thunberg's tweet has received 3.8 million likes, and that places it in the top 5 most liked tweets of all time. And a high-value male can't just sit back and not put up a fight. He takes on all comers. So he tried to clap back to Greta, who, again, killed him softly with 9 words. But Tate made this video.
I have small dick energy. Why would that be your own email address, Greta? Strange. I mean, also, I don't want to assume her gender. It's 50-50, but it is what it is. I'm not actually mad at Greta. Please bring me pizza and make sure that these boxes are not recycled. Thank you. So I'm actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize she's been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave of the Matrix. She thinks she's doing good.
He pretends like he doesn't understand the joke. Then he demands pizza be brought to him, like a man, knowing full well that he asked someone to stand just left of the camera and bring him the boxes after he said so, but he needed a couple of takes to get it right. Before this, he tweeted, "Strange as it may seem, there is a teenager out there who believes your government should tax you into poverty and stop the sun from being hot," and replied, "She ain't ready," when someone joked about Tate and Thunberg having sex together. And this is why you should care about him, especially if you have teen boys. While others jumped in gassing Andrew Tate up like they don't get Greta's joke, and Tate set this up to get free press, genius stuff. The same kind of nonsense people put on Elon, who later tweeted something about the Matrix himself. Well, hours after this, Tate was arrested and detained in Romania for 24 hours on charges of human trafficking and rape, according to the Associated Press. Rumor had it that this happened because of Tate's pizza boxes from Jerry's Pizza, which is in Romania, and like he doxed himself. Turns out that's not true, but it gets better or worse depending on how you feel about Tate. Apparently, for 9 months, anti-mafia prosecutors put together all the evidence taken from the Tate brothers' villa and from the video chat studio in order to be able to prove that the accusations made during the hearings by their alleged victims are real. They had been studying the whereabouts of Andrew Tate and his brother, verifying their locations being shared on social media. The authorities being the group of experts on action against trafficking in human beings, better known as Greta. Couldn't have died a more horrible death. Should have recycled those pizza boxes. He has been remanded into custody for 30 days by a judge in Romania after the police charged him and 3 others with human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized criminal group. So, that's where Andrew Tate is. See, if Andrew Tate is charged and convicted, these far-right white supremacists who were willing to give him a platform aren't going to call him out for his crimes. They aren't going to warn kids of his influence, what about the kids, which he has more of on teens than he does on adults. By the way, even for Tate, my dude, you looked up and you were gassed up by the likes of Matt Walsh and Elon Musk and didn't think, maybe I've gone too far. They knew who he was before this. And this includes Tucker Carlson, who interviewed Tate after he was banned from social media sites. And this took place 4 months after Romanian police raided his home. And you should know that Tate was clearly released and he maintains his innocence. Authorities could not prove those charges yet. Now, what Andrew Tate proved in this Tucker interview is masculinity is expressed through having a girlfriend and how she looks, the cars you drive, and the house you live in, not by, like, taking responsibility and holding yourself accountable.
But when they go to cancel you, ladies and gentlemen, it comes hard and fast. You lose your Facebook, then your Instagram, then your Gmail, then your Discord, then your website hosting, then your domain name, then your payment processor, then your bank. Then it's just like in real time, you're watching your phone and apps just exploding. Boom, boom, boom.
Why would it be when you can claim to be the victim, which proves to your fans somehow that you're manly, and there is a matrix trying to hold you down and prevent you from being successful, you being a traditionally masculine boy or man, and because you're a boy or man. Also in this Tucker interview, Andrew Tate talks about how on Instagram, girls can get popular and have a following just by being good-looking women on the internet, and how it's not fair to men. Men with a lot of followers have a big social status. And this and other things like this leads boys to be depressed, feel lonely, feel worthless, feel invisible. And there are truths to that. So how do you overcome that? Well, for Tate, it meant picking himself up as a man by putting women down. And this is why I, as the parent of 2 boys, pay attention to Andrew Tate, because this took place on social media. Tate got 11 billion views on TikTok alone, and it wasn't for championing men's issues like he would claim. It wasn't for his advice on copy editing. What raised his profile was saying unfounded, uncalled for nonsense, misogyny, a skill anyone can learn, and you don't even need to show proof or evidence of your claims. Because realistically, young men can't directly fund Andrew Tate, but they can give him clicks and likes and retweets. He just needs to have and show the status that he already mentioned as proof, and say things that confirm their already established biases towards women and girls that you would have at certain ages. He-man woman haters or what have you. And sure, fully grown men are on social media too. I'm in my late 30s. I kind of need these apps for my career. But for men, Tate can sell them classes or the real world, talk about crypto and stocks and e-commerce behind a paywall, mind you, workshops in the war room. And by the way, though, what does Tate do for a living? How does he make his money? Even Piers Morgan asked him and he didn't answer. I could very well have missed it, and the media could be at fault for that, for suppressing the positive things about Andrew Tate, I guess. But with all this macho machismo top G talk, have we seen Tate go after a lack of access to therapy and counseling for men, self-medicating with illegal and illicit drugs, suicide, which is committed using firearms most of the time, things that are actually hurting men? I mean, if he cares about status on social media, has he fought against algorithms and filter bubbles and echo chambers which only show certain things? That may be too woke for an Andrew Tate, but an Andrew Tate can go out of his way to tweet at a 19-year-old climate activist, remember, make an imprint on teenagers who wasn't even thinking about him, and talk about his cars. The climate stands in opposition to cylinders and liters and private jets and smoking cigars maybe. I don't know, mentally stuff. But I wouldn't know. I'm in the Matrix, and I don't have enough status or something. But we gonna be all right.
I have small dick energy.
This video was not made in order to stress Andrew Tate's innocence or guilt when it comes to either or both of the raids that took place at his home. But there are people who are saying that Andrew Tate predicted this and knew it was going to happen, which sets up the argument that if the charges stick, he's being set up. But if he goes off scot-free, he's a champion among men. The convenience of it all.